Man, I'm sick and tired of fake people and just how people just present themselves one way and then are completely different in another circumstance or even with another set of friends or something. And it's really eye-opening. Like, I noticed that when I was going to my young adults group that I go to, there was this person that I thought that was a really open-minded, kind-hearted person. The way they interacted with others, the way they, even our conversations that we had. And then the other day, there was this guy that was sharing something about himself, and he was talking about how when he meets people, sometimes he finds that he's overcompensating by bringing other things up in his life that maybe he excels at in order to make himself sound better. And like for example, he gave an example of how he works out a lot because he feels that he's like inept in a lot of other areas. And like this guy's like pouring his heart out. And then all of a sudden I look over and this person and the friend are like giggling with each other in the corner. And I just thought, like, whether they were laughing about him or just something, I just thought, like, wow, like, totally not cool. Like, so disrespectful. Like, because it was, the situation was like, it was a whole group conversation. And it was like totally silent. And there's one guy speaking. And everyone's listening to this guy. And then you got these two giggling off in the corner. And there's one person who I thought was like a really respectable person, and really, it just really caught me off guard because I saw that person in another light, and I just was like, wow, like they put themselves off as this like mature, professional, like friendly person, and especially I guess because it's like a Christian group setting too, and so for me, that kind of sets the tone as well. And even though it really shouldn't, because just because there's a label on somebody doesn't mean that that's who. I mean, there is no like this is the way to be if you're a Christian, or this is the way to be if you're whatever, fill in the blank. But it just, I don't know. It just really caught me off guard, and I just started. It just keeps hitting me all the time. Like as I go through life, I'm like, I see somebody, and I know everybody does that, but like you see somebody, you kind of create this image of who they are based on the interactions that you have, and then all of a sudden they do something, and it's just like, whoa, that's not who I thought you were. I didn't think you were that type of person. And it really just personally makes me kind of like lose interest in wanting to associate and talk to those people, just because I'm just like, okay, if they're doing that to somebody else, then they're definitely willing to do that to me. And another example of this too, like with fake people, I've noticed, like, I mean, besides even just being in the workplace, it's just like you got to be so careful with who's your friend as well. Like people are just so fake. But no, what I was gonna say was, I noticed that when my grandfather passed away in 2023, that even family members, like people that I thought were really caring about my grandfather, about their grandfather, just like the stuff they'd say, and I was like they were like, oh, like after he passed, they were like, oh, I wish I could have been there, wish I could have had more time with him, and there was so much I wanted to say to him. And I was like, what? Because I was the one who was over there all the time. I was literally there like probably at least 3 days a week over at my grandparents' place. And every time I'd come over and see them, and it was because they lived so close, they were like literally 5 minutes down the road. But a lot of other family members live in the same city, and it's at most a 15-20 minute drive. And I would constantly ask them, did you hear from so-and-so? Did you hear from our cousins, our uncles, aunts, family members, whatever? And they'd say, nope, haven't heard anything. All we hear is whatever you tell us that you saw on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And that used to really upset me. And then it really got me angry after he died because of all the theatrics and the BS that people would come up with after the fact. And that stuff just really would get to me. And I mean, I'm not a perfect person either, but I'm not the type of person that I want to be center of attention. So I'm going to lie to you just to be center of attention, or create some theatrics in order to be center of attention. And so when I see that in other people, it's such a gross personality trait in people. But yeah, and like, even with that too, like, my grandparents were the type of people that they were worried about how other family members were doing. So even though nobody would contact them, nobody would talk to them, around Christmas time, they're sending out birthday cards, and I'm going with them to hand cards out at people's workplaces, houses, with money in them. And it's never like $20 in the cards. It was like $100 or more, and a very nice, well-written card, because they're from that generation. They were born in the 30s, and so they actually cared. And they were, well, from the greatest generation. They were honorable and everything. And so I think that's what also irked me, was that just the disgusting behavior from family members that were raised by their kids. And it's like, where's the disconnect here? How did, like, and it really is just it's a reflection on society, just how far we've fallen in society, just especially with social media and everything, where it's brought us. Just like, when you gave someone your word, that used to mean something. That used to be like, if you told somebody, I'm going to do that for you, or if somebody told you they were going to do that for you, or they're going to fix that, or they were going to, don't worry, I'll take care of it, you could trust them. And they would do it, because that was all people had back then, was their word. And if you broke your word, everybody knew about it, everybody found out about it. And it was like your reputation gone. But nowadays, it's constant. People are just constantly being fake. I mean, social media is just the epitome of being fake. Flashing whatever, being fake rich, vacations, like, I'm loving my life, and then 2 weeks later you see them in a divorce. Like, it's just... But nobody wants to post all the negatives of their life, because that would be depressing. But it's just so tiring. It's so tiring being in a world of just constant fake people. It's exhausting. And just trying to weed through all of that, and you're constantly having to be aware of, is this person being honest with me? Like, where am I? I'm gauging this person all the time, every conversation we have. Until and I don't even think you fully ever know somebody. Even if you've known them for 20, 25 years, I don't think you ever fully know somebody. Because, yeah, of course, how could you? Because there's stuff that we don't tell people. We keep, like, our innermost thoughts to ourselves. I mean, I don't tell, like, I've got friends that I've known since, like, preschool, like daycare, like literally 25 years ago. And they don't know everything about me. And I don't know everything about them. I mean, we know a lot about each other, I think we know enough about each other to gauge if this person's a good person or not. But it's just trying to meet people in today's world is just, it's exhausting. There's so many fake profile pictures up when you meet people, and then they don't drop it either. They constantly have to, I guess they have to keep this roll going in order for their life to go the way they want. I don't really know. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, bye.